Hi, this is Goddess of Desire. Did you know that you can rewrite your reality? Did you know that you have written your reality your entire life? And if things aren't working out for you and you feel like your manifestations aren't working out for you, it's because you've written that into your reality. Let me explain. So, life happens to us as we grow and evolve, and negative things happen all of the time. But I want to ask you a question. I want you to close your eyes for just a minute and I want you to think back to the first memory. You get to choose the topic, but the first memory of either your mom, your dad, or let's say your grandmother. Okay? Close your eyes and think of the very first memory that you have with one of those people. And answer in the comments, was it a negative memory? Was it a negative memory? Because most of the time it is. You see, we get receipts from events that happen in our lives, right? That's the reality. For my case, and I'm going to explain it from here because I don't know your situation, we're all different. In my case, my biological mom left whenever I was an infant, right? So, she left. And then whenever I got older, I moved in with my grandparents, and my several of my aunts and uncles left. They moved away, and then I moved in with my parents. Whenever my dad married my stepmom, who's my mom, and so people just left, right? That's what is written into my subconscious. So my entire life, there was a fear wrapped around people leaving because my subconscious believed that. I had proof that that really happened. But do you know how many people stayed? But I didn't think about that. And I didn't focus on that. So go back through your memories and those things that are holding you back, those things that you have fear wrapped around, um, that are traumas from your past, rewrite those. Go back through and remember all the people that did stay. Remember all the people that did love you. Remember all the people that did go out of their way for you. Remember all the times that you had money to pay things. Remember all of the times that you were making a lot of money, you know? Stop focusing on those negative things. If you stop focusing on the negative things and rewrite, give your subconscious proof, facts, because your subconscious is running off of those facts that are actually false. Because if one person left, 15, 20 of them stayed, you know? And I realized when I was whenever I was rewriting my subconscious, my story, my reality, I realized everybody loves me. Everybody loves me. I've always been loved. I've always had. It doesn't matter where I go or what I do. People want to be in my space. People talk very highly of me. People love me. And I wasn't focused on that. I was focused on those, this many. This many didn't love me, and this many did. You know what I mean? So that's ridiculous because that gets written in our subconscious, and that's what we live off of, and that's what fuels us, and that's what blocks us from our manifestations. That's what blocks us from living in the reality that we should be living in because we're our you can manifest, and then those your ego brings it up, and it's like, well, Stacy, remember this one time? Remember this one time whenever that person left? Why would you think that this person's going to stay? This person left when so many people stayed. So shut down that ego. Shut down that old subconscious written story. We focus on the negative. We really do. Um, and I had a friend yesterday that came into my salon and I was doing her hair, and we asked her, one of my other friends, a coworker, and I had asked her like how things were going, and she literally listed off like 10 negative things all in like so fast. And so then I started popping back positive things that happened. And then she was like, I'm sorry I was negative. And I was like, no, it's not that I'm bothered by you being negative. I just wanted to point out the good things because nobody does that for us. You know, nobody points out the good things for us. We don't even point out the good things for ourselves. So sit down with your journal, and I know y'all are sick of hearing me talking about the journal, but sit down and write it down. Write it down and rewrite it. The energy of writing something down helps you release it. Go outside and burn it if you want to. That's how I release. I burn everything. It's crazy because I'm an air sign and I don't know why I get so much satisfaction out of burning something and feeling like it's actually gone. But I'm also a very, like, I have to see it. So when I see it burning and I let the ashes go out into the air, I feel like it's released and it's gone. It just gives me that I saw it leave. You know what I mean? So do that. And if you can't do that, then tear it up into really small pieces and throw it in the trash or something. You know, whatever it is that makes you feel like it's actually gone. Soak it in water where all of the writing's gone. It's gone. It's done. But rewrite your story because you can. You can rewrite your reality. You can rewrite your story by focusing on all of the good things to contradict and counteract all of those negative thoughts that are plaguing you, that you've created your story, that you've created your reality with. Also go through and find places that you have fear and remind yourself that it could work. Remind yourself of the times that it did work. My friend yesterday, she was talking about how she had just lost and lost and lost. And I told her, since my husband passed away, I have too. And recently, there's been a little setback that happened in my household. And she asked, have you guys been able to pay the bills? And I said, yes. And let me tell you something. Everything's always worked out. It's always worked out. Remember that it's always worked out. Remember the last time. If you're going through something right now, think back to the last time that you had a big thing that you didn't think you were going to make it through. And remember, you made it through. You did because you're here now. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't the way you planned, right? It wasn't. But it worked out. It doesn't matter how it worked out. You saw that you are always provided for. You are always taken care of. It may not have been every single penny that you needed in that moment. You might have lost a couple of things on the way to that, but you still made it through. You know, even if you were sleeping in your car for a little while, at least you had a car to sleep in. There's people that are living under a bridge right down the street from my house. They don't even have a car to live in. They are exposed to all of the elements of outside. If it's extremely hot, if it's raining, if it's extremely cold, they're exposed to all of those. You haven't gotten there? Congratulations. Look at you. Successful. You know, you made it. Doesn't matter how. It does not matter how you get there. You just got to get there. Rewrite your reality. You can do this. If you need any help or have any questions, feel free to inbox me. But please let me know. Please let me know if the first thought that popped in your mind was a negative one, because 9 times out of 10 it is. Love you. Happy healing. See you later.